Hello, and welcome to IB Tutovids. I'm Jordan Dermlas, and this is the difference between the Teller and Platt amendments. One of the most confusing things in IB history of the Americas is the difference between these two amendments, because they're both the same type of law, same type of administration, and they're kind of confusing to remember which one is which. However, once you get to know it, it's not that difficult. But confusing the two will get points taken away from you on paper 3. Now, this is out of chronological order, but first we're going to talk about the Teller Amendment. Now, this was the very first amendment out of these two, and this was before we really were about to annex Cuba. And essentially, the Teller Amendment said, we are not going to annex Cuba. We're not going to. We're not. No. So one way I remember is tell her no, because tell her no. So essentially, if you think about the United States as, Statue of Liberty, or what they also call her, if I can remember what they call her. So Lady Liberty, if you think of it like that, tell her no, you're not allowed to conquer Cuba. So that's kind of the way I remember that. Now, after we were getting closer to having Cuba, the United States was like, well, we kind of want to annex it. So we're going to make up our own laws on how we're going to annex this thing. So essentially, it's if the America feels like it wants to conquer Cuba, if it feels like it's necessary, they can. So essentially, they can. So when I remember it, it's platypus don't care. If you think of Platt and platypus, so platypus doesn't care. It's going to do whatever it wants, going to do whatever it does. So this means that, so since this came after, this became the law with governing Cuba. And if you think about it, really this is the one that matters, but it's important because it kind of supplements the Teller Amendment. It says, no, you're right, we can't conquer Cuba unless we think it's necessary. So really it's like an amendment to the amendment. So it's just a very easy thing to confuse, but also a nice thing to remember and to have with a question that asks what kind of things we're trying to stop imperialism, for example, in the United States, or trying to stop that from happening. You can say the Teller Amendment, but there were opponents to the Teller Amendment. That's where the Platt Amendment came from, or that kind of thing. Or when discussing why we annexed Cuba, this is another really good reason that the gates open to annex Cuba. For more information, visit my website. The Teller Amendment and Platt Amendment parts are in the Guam and Puerto Rico section. If you have any questions, please email me at ibtutovids@gmail.com. For my website, it's tutovids.weebly.com, which is also in the description. If you have any questions, please post them in the comment section. Thank you. Have a great day.